Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Trivikrama Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Gaur Govinda Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhakti Kamal Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhakti Rakshak Shridhar Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Krishna Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Param Bhagavat Srila Gaur Kishore Das Baji Maharaj ki jai, Saptam Goswami Satchidananda Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Baji Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Shri Gaur Parishad Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Locana Dasa Thakura ki jai, Tadeshu Bhattiro Bhavtiti Mahotsava ki jai, Sri Caitanya-caritamrta Chaitanya Bhagavad Sri Caitanya-mangala ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Welcome everybody. Hare Krishna, we're starting our class now. Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Mabadivicha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahapremarasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandaya Namo Namaste Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Jannopataye Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanaya Kapitaro Kamalataksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karunavataro Kanakajaladagatro Nilashonabjanetro Mrigamadavara Bala Malatikundamala Tarala Taruna Vilapitam Desha Smarani Britani Kunje Radhika Krishna Chandra Tavaivasmi Najivamitvaya Vina Niti Vigyaradi Tvam Naimam Charanantike Advaita Prakati Kritana Hari Preshta Swarupa Priya Nityananda Sakha Sanatana Gati Shirupa Rita Ketana Lakshmi Pranapati Gadadhara Rasallasi Jagannatha Bhu Sangapanga Saparshada Sadaitam Devam Sachinandana Saundarya Kamakoti Sakala Jana Samahladane Chandrakoti Vatsalya Matrikoti Stridashavati Pinam Kotiraudarya Sari Gambhiryam Bodhikotir Madhurimani Sudakshi Ramadvika Kotir Gauradeva Sajiyat Pranaya Rasapade Darshitarsharya Koti Hela Dunita Kedaya Vishadaya Pranmiladan Modaya Chamyat Chastra Vivadaya Rasadaya Chittarpitan Madaya Shashvat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhurya Maryadaya Sri Caitanya Daya Nidhetavadaya Bhuyada Mandodaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. First of all, my limited Dandavat Pranams to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Nityalila Prayeshtam Vishnupad, Astutra Satyashimad, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Gurudev was instructing spiritual masters, Om Vishnupad, Astutra Satyashimad, Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Shrimati Krishna Priya Thakurani. Especially today, to the lotus feet of Sri Locana Dasa Thakura, whose disappearance day we're celebrating. Also, to the author of Sri Caitanya-Bhagavata, Sri Vrindavana Das Thakura, whose amazing biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be still hearing today. Also to all the dear Vaishnavas and guests in Groombridge, Chandrika Kunj, Dandavat Pranam. Also to those who are watching us online and will be watching in recording, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. So very nice to see you. Glad you all came, although this is our last meeting this year, unfortunately, but we will summarize whatever we're hearing about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu these days and during almost 2 weeks of the UK tour. So we explained to Stephanie about Sri Chaitanya just before class, and those of you who haven't heard the name Sri Chaitanya, please raise your hand. Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya, okay, very good. Your names are? Chris and? Pretty and? Shirley. Chris, Pretty, Shirley. Okay, wonderful. So you can see the deities in the center. So Krishna plays the flute. Krishna is well known as the great flute player. So he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, also most attractive Supreme Personality. Akarshana means to attract. So he's attracting all the world. And his flute play is the most significant feature he's attracting everyone by. And on the left of Krishna, from our side, it's on the right, there's one girl. That girl is called Radha. So that is basically the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. So she's called Radha because Ra means she is performing the best aradhana, means worship. She is best devotee of Krishna. And also Dha means she always runs towards him. So, well, she comes from the left side of Krishna's transcendental body, and immediately she runs towards him. So she is a mistress of devotion, and she teaches everyone how to serve. Most of the time of the year, we spend in Vrindavan, in India. So in Vrindavan, all people of Delhi and all those places in Uttar Pradesh and Haryana, nearabouts, they say Radhe Radhe, and they go to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, everybody is saying Radhe Radhe. This is Radha, in vocative case, Radhe. So that's why in Hare Krishna Mahamantra we have Hare as the first name. Hare Hara, she's called Hara, and in the vocative case, she's Hare. So Hare Krishna, so all merciful, internal, all attractive energy of the Supreme Absolute, all Supreme Absolute, most attractive and most merciful and most joyous. Rama means all joyous and giving all joy. So Krish means to attract, and Na means to give ananda, to give great bliss. So that is the highest personality and most attractive personality. So Krishna came 5,000 years ago, performed many, many pastimes, amazing pastimes. None other incarnation could perform such pastimes. And he gave inspiration to so many souls to go towards him. But he was giving to everyone according to what they were worth of, according to their qualification. Yeah? And he's saying in Bhagavad Gita, you know Bhagavad Gita? You know. So he's saying in Bhagavad Gita, Yatamam prapadite tam statevam bhajamyaham. O Arjuna, everybody is going towards me, his own way, but I reward them according to their devotion. So it's like in the shop, you know. You pay £5, you get 5 items, £1 each, you know. So if we perform devotion with our body, mind, and words, that's why we have these deeds: body, mind, words. So we get from Krishna so much. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that Krishna who is especially full of all compassion towards fallen living entities of this material world, and therefore he decided, I have to come and distribute mercy to everyone. Yesterday we were hearing about the 4 reasons of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, but just to enlighten a little bit our guests who are hearing about Sri Chaitanya for the first time, he has come basically for 2 reasons. You remember them, huh? Sarah, Gary, you remember them? It's 2 reasons, the internal and external. So internal is for himself, external is for us, for the living entities. The popular question, when the Lord comes as an avatar, he comes for himself or he comes for us? Well, by one action, the Lord performs many, many, many tasks. So both for us and for himself, because we are his inseparable parts. So, but we're not him. We're little sparks, living entities, the jivas. So we're struggling here with the material nature, and we can never win if we don't take shelter of him. Same as you're drowning in water, you'll never win if you don't take shelter of the life buoy and boat. So that's why the holy name is given by the captain of the ship, helmsman. So he gives the holy name, and that is the life buoy, that's the saving, I would say, method, chanting. Yeah, so we're now on board of the ship, and it's just a matter of time when we'll reach destination. What is destination? The shore of the spiritual world, eternal residence, our eternal residence. Right now we're having just a, how to say, a proclivity, the tendency to go there. So that is really, really for our benefit. So when we understand by the mercy of the Lord, and also by Sukritis, by the accumulated pious activities from the past, that is the path, then Sri Guru comes into our life wonderfully. But the first Guru is certainly Sri Caitanya. So both Radha and Krishna together. So Chaitanya means living force, actually, living force. Also, Chaitana means consciousness. And Chaitanya means state of consciousness. And Krishna Chaitanya means Krishna consciousness. That is the essence of our process, Krishna consciousness. So consciousness is basically what? State of mind. So whatever our state of mind is, that is our consciousness. It's like a filter. We can fill our consciousness with any, how to say, any type of mood, in the same way as we want to light the big torch. When we put the filter, if it's pink, oh, all the space beyond will be pink. If it's gray, it will be gray. So our state of consciousness should be transcendental, Krishna consciousness, so concentrated upon Krishna. Yeah. So to remember Krishna and never forget, yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. Sarva vidineshya dasyur etayor eva kinkara. There are only two instructions of the Vedic scriptures, only two, actually. They're the basis of all the others. Always remember Krishna and never forget. That's two instructions. So they are the chief instructions of all Vedic scriptures. If these are the ancient Vedic scriptures, the mother of all religiosities. That is it. So whoever we remember, Krishna is saying, we go to that abode. Many, many times we heard the stories that husbands at the time of death were meditating on the wives on the husbands. They were changing roles, and they were meeting again, but he became she, and she became him. Like this means changing the sex, and they're meeting as husband and wife, meeting as wife and husband, like this. Many, many times. Yeah. And if you're meditating on a dog, if you're a lonely man, you're meditating on a dog, you'll become a... that's it. Here we go. But if you meditate on Krishna, you will never become Krishna, because his place is occupied. He is the supreme enjoyer. You can become a devotee of Krishna. Very, very good. It's most essential to meditate on Sri Guru, the bona fide spiritual master. So we have to remember these things. When Guru gives initiation, when Srila Gurudev gave us initiation, spiritual, enlightenment, he was saying, meditate on Krishna, meditate on Vrindavan, his holy abode, meditate on Sri Caitanya and his pastimes. So that was the introduction. Now we're continuing our subjects. Yesterday we were hearing very, very sweet pastimes of Sri Caitanya. When Sri Caitanya came in 1486, for 24 years he was a householder. He was playing the part of a common person, in the same way as Krishna, actually. He was playing the part of a common person, but he was certainly performing a lot of uncommon activities, superhuman activities. And Sri Chaitanya was also performing superhuman activities, but his main activity was that he made so many demons, so many atheists, so many representatives of some lower ways of worship, pure devotees of Krishna. Pure devotees of Krishna. That was his most prominent miracle. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was first playing the part of, and the 24 last years, he was a sannyasi, shaven head, renounced monk. So he was mostly residing in Jagannath Puri, where the temple of Lord Jagannath is. But in the first stage of his life, he was residing in Navadvip Mayapur. So that place is not different from Vrindavan. Vrindavan, you heard, is a place of Krishna. And Navadvip Mayapur, in the modern West Bengal, that is the place of Sri Chaitanya. So then he wasn't manifesting himself as a devotee. On the first stage, he was a logician, he was the knower of verbal roots, he was the knower of Sanskrit grammar. He was teaching students in his Tola Sanskrit school, and once, by the desire of his mother, his father passed away actually quite early, but the desire of his mother, he was married to Lakshmi Priya. Then when he went to East Bengal, Lakshmi Priya was bitten by a snake of separation, actually. That was snake of separation, and left her body. So by the desire of her mother, he had to marry again. His second wife was Vishnu Priya Devi. So, but then the Lord decided, the time has come. I have to reveal myself. I have to reveal the purpose of my descent. So he went towards Gaya. He went to Gaya. Gaya is the place where religious Hindus perform the last rites for the deceased relatives, like especially son for the father. So since the father of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagannatha Mishra, had gone, he had to perform his last rituals. But actually the purpose of his visit of Gaya was quite different. He decided to reveal himself. He saw the imprints of the feet of Lord Vishnu there. It's a great Pada Padma Tirtha in Gaya. In his body, he started crying, he started shouting very loud, Ha Krishna, and started rolling on the ground. Where is Krishna, the treasure of my life? All those symptoms manifested, and immediately his guru came. Well, he's the Supreme Lord. Why does he need guru? Why? What do you think? To show example for us. Even Krishna had guru, Sandipani Muni, and also Bhaguri Rishi in Vrindavan. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu exemplified that principle, and he took shelter of Sri Guru. But Sri Guru Ishwarapuri, he knew perfectly well who Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was. He said to him, not a single time he said, not even a single time he said that, I know who you are. You're the Supreme Lord. But anyway, he knew he had to perform that role. So then one time, mysteriously, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was waiting for his Gurudev, and he was cooking. He was cooking rice, especially for him. So then Sri Guru came, Ishwarapuri, and he treated him with the rice. And then later he received 10-syllable mantra from him, this Gayatri mantra, and Hare Krishna Mahamantra as well. As soon as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu received mantra, he saw Krishna. He started meditating on mantra, immediately he saw Krishna. The black complexioned boy, he stood up and he wanted to catch Krishna, but Krishna was running back. Sri Chaitanya again was trying to catch Krishna. Again he was running back. And, where is Krishna, the treasure of my life? And he was collapsing on the floor, unconscious. Then he came to his Gurudev and said, Kiba mantra nyasi, Kiba mantra vyasi. Uttara dal, japite japite mantra karile pagao. Oh, Goswami, Gosai, what kind of mantra have you given to me? By chanting this mantra, I have become pagal, I have become a madman. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became a transcendental madman. He came back to Navadvip. Nobody could recognize him. He was crying, he was collapsing on the ground, he was showering tears, and everybody was soaked with that, deluge of prema, of divine love. So everybody was soaking wet, and he was also soaking wet. Where is Krishna, the treasure of my life? You were hearing all those pastimes, we were just giving a synopsis. And then Gadadhara, his very, very close associate, who is none other than Radhika herself, actually, in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya, was appeasing him. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And he started scratching his chest. Where is Krishna? To blood. No, be appeased. Krishna will come. Krishna will come. And then Mahaprabhu was appeased. Who will appease Krishna? Only Radhika. Only Radhika is able. But when Krishna wants to know the depth of love of Radhika, the beauty of his own qualities known only to her in her love, and the happiness she feels when she's experiencing those qualities, these were the three confidential desires of Krishna when he came as Sri Chaitanya. Only Radhika can answer those questions. So later in Jagannath Puri, therefore, that same Gadadhara was reading Bhagavatam for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, most confidential parts of Srimad Bhagavatam, describing why every verse of Bhagavatam says none other than Radhe, 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 like this. So that was a few things. If you don't understand certain terms, just don't pay attention. Try to follow the mood. These words in foreign, blah, blah, just don't pay attention. Just try to, because that is the energy, flowing from, Navadvip Dham, actually. And whatever we can, whatever we heard, we're trying, imperfectly, we're trying to repeat like a parrot, So, something better than nothing. Information about transcendental reality is better than no information. So that's why we're discussing these things. So people in this world discuss so many topics, and they remain and remain and remain in this world, chewing the chewed. Charvita charvananam, this process. You feel? The Sanskrit, charvita charvananam, chewing the chewed. So in many other languages, it also sounds similar. So already has been chewed. A camel. A camel is chewing all the time his gum, whatever it is, inside, some saliva. But actually, he likes chewing the thorns, from thorny bush, He takes, starts chewing, and oh, what a taste! Wonderful. It's his own blood, actually. His own blood, yes. Nice, this chewing gum has a wonderful taste. No, again, and again, and again. You can never, it's like, addiction. You never repeat the first impression. The first impression was the brightest, and you can never repeat it. So the first, taste of fresh blood. Anyway, we're not talking about, okay, Hare Krishna. So the taste of transcendental rasa, transcendental taste, that transcendental mellow, that's what we're discussing right now. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya therefore came back to Navadvip, and all the residents of Navadvip, his students and general citizens, were not able to recognize him. Nimai Pandit, as he was called, Nimai, since he was born under the Nim tree, so his name was Nimai. And Pandit means a learned person, like a modern days professor, something like that. So Nimai has become a Vaishnava, So the Vaishnava means a devotee of Krishna, coming from the name Vishnu. So Vaishnava means devotee of Vishnu, Krishna. So all the devotees there were so ecstatic. There were not many devotees in Mayapur, in Navadvip. Advaita Acharya was the leader. So anyway, they were so really happy, Oh, finally, we will put an end to the atheism which is so much prominent in Navadvip. People were engaged in logical debates. They were engaged in worshipping demigods like Kali, Durga, all those Shiva. They were engaged in material affairs, marrying the sons and daughters, etc., even dogs and cats. Yes, marrying, like, yes. Nobody was really worshipping Krishna, just a few devotees. Because, well, this age is called the age of Kali, Kali Yuga. So the ocean of sin, what's that Shukadev Goswami says to Parikshit at the end of Bhagavatam? Kaler dosha nire rajan is guna mahad guna kirtanameva krishnasya mukta sangam param vrajet. O king, this age is the ocean of sin, but there is one good quality. Kirtanameva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. Just by chanting the names of Krishna, you can achieve the highest destination. Chanting is an easy process. When you get to the process, you actually realize it's not so easy later. But comparing to those austerities people were performing in the previous ages, which required like residence in Himalayas and many other really austere practices, this path is very pleasurable. Just take up beads, chant a couple of hours in the morning. What's the difficulty? And go veggie, vegetarian, offer your food. It will become Krishna Prasad, means Krishna's mercy, and that's it. Finally, by continuous chanting, you'll become what is called karma-free. Your karma gets finished. You totally belong on Krishna, to Krishna, and depend on Krishna. And finally, you get your spiritual body, which is now as only as a tendency, like everyone has that tendency in the heart. So we have to develop that. Like a seed, seed. This is a seed of oak, for example, acorn. So it will manifest as great oak. And many new acorns bring many other things. So that is our future Swarup, that is our destination. Swarupa means the spiritual body. So therefore, by the holy name, by chanting of the holy name, which is non-different from the personality, directed towards. And so Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, name, form, qualities, pastimes, these are the four items which go together in transcendental subject matter, right? So in material subject matter, let's say the stick, right? So there's a word stick, there's a Nama, Rupa, there's a form, you can see stick. Then Guna is qualities, okay, it's hard, some music can be made, and pastimes, okay, so I can play with it, and so this is like activities, right? Material object. But if we speak about the holy name of Krishna, then all these four items, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, name, form, qualities, and pastimes, they go completely together. So actually when we say Krishna, let's try together. 3, 4. Krishna. Okay, so you can feel something, right? Right. Like if you say something like bread and butter or Coca-Cola, it will be different result. There's material objects, right? But Krishna is something different. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Krishna. See, some impression is there. Because the three other items, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, means form, qualities, and pastimes, are invisible so far, but we're getting approach to them. We're getting an approach by the name. Name is the, doorway towards form, qualities, and pastimes. All right? In the same way as you repeat India, 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 so you think about India, and finally you get to know its form, qualities, and pastimes. First by, reading some books, and watching some videos, going to the embassy, getting visa, getting a ticket, flying, and then finally seeing and smelling and doing everything there. So in that same way, the spiritual land is open for us through the holy name. And the prema, the pure love, is open for us through chanting, this process. So that is absolute. So that is that is what Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu gave. He's our initial guru. So yes, when he came to Navadvip, Mayapur, then all the devotees were jubilating, and he was performing amazing pastimes. He was meeting his students and sitting them down as usual and describe some grammar for you now. They were asking questions. What is dhatu? Like elementary question. Dhatu is a verbal root. What is dhatu? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described what dhatu, verbal root actually is coming from Krishna, is fully related to Krishna. He explained each and every letter of Sanskrit alphabet in relation to Krishna. The great saint, the follower of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Jiva Goswami, later compiled a grammar, Harinamamrita Vyakarana, which is fully based upon that principle, that each and every letter, each and every syllable, actually letters are syllables in Sanskrit and alphabets of other Indian languages. So each and every syllable is related to Krishna completely in a certain form. It's related to a certain name of Krishna. Say Ka, the first letter is Ka. Ka, Ga, Ka, 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 Ga, Ka, Ga. Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga. These are first letters. Short syllable Ka, long syllable Ka, short Ka, Ga, and long Ga. Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga. So Ka, already Krishna, you see. Already the first letter in Sanskrit alphabet is Ka. So that's Krishna, already starting, from that. So it's all interrelated, like invisible threads, transcendental threads. So some students were disturbed, they couldn't understand, and they went to complain to Gangadas Pandit, the teacher of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he was young, he was educated by Gangadas Pandit, and Gangadas Pandit told him, be serious, because your grandfather, grandmother, they were very serious. Why are you doing this sentimental activity? How are you explaining everything related to Krishna? So, and the popular opinion was this, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has gone mad. Yesterday we were hearing he's gone mad. And then Srivas once came to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of his close associates, in whose house later Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was singing 21 hours out of 24 every night, every day. So Srivas visited him and said, Srivas, they say that this is madness, that I have some disturbance in my life airs, in my body. Some pranas in your life airs. When they're disturbed, it's called vata dosha disturbance, and one goes mad when you got your airs disturbed. So then Srivas smiled and said, oh, this is good madness. I want the same for myself. I want the same for myself. Oh, if you hadn't told me, I would have drowned myself in the Ganga. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you really saved me. Aha, so when Gadadhara, sorry, I didn't finish that story. When Gadadhara saw he's scratching, he appeased him. So Krishna will come. And then Shachimata, the mother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, told Gadadhara, please always stay by his side. Always say, because I don't know what will be next. Sometimes he's falling, sometimes he's climbing the tree and sitting there, then falling from the tree. Then he rolls on the ground, he's crying, he's shouting, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. His behavior like that of a madman. So she was really disturbed. She was really, performing human pastime also. She was very much, protective of her son and very much disturbed by him, by his behavior. So we will resume these sweet narrations from the great book by Srila Locana Dasa Thakura, whose disappearance day is today, called Caitanya-mangala. But first we will mention a little bit from his life story. Sri Caitanya, Sri Locana Dasa Thakura. So Sri Locana Dasa Thakura appeared in 1520. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486. Locana Dasa Thakura 1520. So he was very young when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore left in 1534. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already left, and Sri Locana Dasa Thakura started to compose Sri Caitanya-mangala. So that was based upon Sanskrit book by Sri Murari Gupta called Sri Caitanya-caritamrta, actually. So Sri Locana Dasa Thakura was the disciple of Sri Narahari Sarkar. Some of his songs we sing. He was residing in Srikanda, one nice little town in Navadvip. So Locana Dasa Thakura, therefore, called his book Sri Caitanya-mangala. Mangala means auspicious, the auspicious life of Sri Chaitanya. But initially, Sri Vrindavana Dasa Thakura, the author of Chaitanya Bhagavata, had named his book also Sri Caitanya-mangala. So thus the two Caitanya-mangalas manifested. And the senior Vaishnavas, they decided to make distinction and rename Caitanya-mangala of Sri Vrindavana Dasa Thakura, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So thus it is known by that name now. So there's a wonderful story of how Krishna decided to come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but I think we'll better stick to that part, we already stopped that, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastimes, and just have a look at Sri Caitanya-mangala. So, places, us under the closed doors. So, we heard also how, yesterday we heard how Srivas was very much fearful. Oh, the Muslim king will send his soldiers and they will arrest us. And people were saying, oh, that Srivas madman will complain to the king, and the king will push his house by the soldiers. He will push his house into the Ganga. And Srivas was having a large family and 4 brothers. So he was praying to Nrisimhadev, Lord, the Lord who is protecting his devotees, half man and half lion. That is the protective incarnation of Krishna, half man, half lion, Nrisimhadev. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard in his heart, he heard the prayers of his pure devotee, and he smashed open the door, like kicked open the door and burst into the house of Srivas and said, oh Srivas, who are you meditating upon? Who are you meditating upon? See me. Muni say, I am him. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there was sat on the throne of Vishnu in a heroic posture, virasana, heroic posture. And he was sitting there, and Srivas started worshipping him. But yesterday we heard all that, so we're just giving some synopsis. So now we'll read a little bit from Sri Caitanya-mangala by Locana Dasa Thakura. One day while sitting in his home, Vishwambar became immersed in Krishna prema, in pure devotional love, and cried profusely. He said, what shall I do? Where shall I go? How will I fix my mind on Krishna? Lamenting like this, Mahaprabhu screamed. Hearing him, others also cried. I found one quotation today and posted it on my Facebook page by Srila Gurudev. Very nice picture of our Gurudev and a nice phrase. Have you seen? Nice phrase by Gurudev. Kirtan, or chanting of the holy name, is not when you try to attract the hearers, the listeners. No, that is the listeners. Yeah, that is called a concert. Mundane concert, mundane music. When people show their skills and other people come and applause and give roses. No, kirtan is not music. Kirtan is the cry of the soul. You cry for Krishna. I just want to, if I can, yes, the exact quotation. If kirtan is meant to attract a listener, that is not kirtan. Singing for God from the heart is called kirtan. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was calling for Krishna in the mood of Radhika. Where will I find Krishna? Where will I find Krishna, really? So that is called sincere chanting. Yeah. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, when he first came to the West, he recorded the first LP, Krishna Consciousness it's called. And he chanted with his young disciples, and he explained about the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he said, like a genuine cry of a child for a mother. That's what is Hare Krishna. Not that I want to achieve some results, I have some ambitions, and I have some then your so-called kirtan will keep you in this world, and you'll have nice facilities. You can go to heaven. You can even achieve liberation. Many, many things, because, Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. We sang yesterday with the help of Purushottam. We sang yesterday, Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. Oh, holy name, you have so many forms. Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa. So many forms of Krishna, but also material forms can have. Computer Swarupa. A vehicle Swarupa. A house Swarupa. So many. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, I want this, I want that. So those things come because you do the offense of the holy name. What's that called? Offensive chanting. Nama Parat, Nama Parat. So, but the kirtan of Mahaprabhu is not that. Where is Krishna? Please give me Krishna, show me Krishna, I want Krishna. So Srila Gaur-Govinda Maharaj, one great guru, was chastising his disciples. He was saying, you don't want Krishna, you want Maya. Maya means illusion. Maya means not that. Ya means that, and Ma means not. Not that which is not. So you want an illusion, That's why you get illusion. You chant Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Gurudev was making a joke, our spiritual master was making a joke. He said, oh, easy, you can make easy money by Nama Parad, offensive chanting of Hare Krishna. We want easy money. Chant Hare Krishna anyway. Once Gurudev was sitting in an assembly, and he finished his class in Australia, I remember, with one funny phrase. He said that, oh, don't worry, just chant, and Krishna will break the ceiling and throw you, cover you completely with dollar banknotes, completely covered with paper. Don't worry, about the paper, Krishna will do that. But if you do offensive chanting, but if you do real chanting, first like a shadow, and then as Nama, what's that? Shuddha Nama, pure holy name, then you get Krishna. That's why Srila Gaur-Govinda Maharaj said, you don't want Krishna, you want Maya, so it depends what you want. Why we're hearing this, tell me? To want Krishna, to cry for Krishna, in the way Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu was crying, in the way he was chanting, in the way he was desiring. He's God himself. There's no deficiency. But he was having some unfulfilled desires. How? Radhika loves him. That's one thing, internal. But external, oh Jiva souls, oh souls of this world, take this process. Take Krishna, take Krishna. That's why we will sing Vaishnava Thakur, the song for Srila Gurudev, then we say, Krishna Sitto Mara Krishna Dite Paru Tamara Shakati Ache Amito Kangala Krishna Krishna Boli Dhaitava Pache Pa Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Edase Karuna Kor. Krishna is yours, and you have the power to give Krishna. That is Sri Guru. Amito Kangala, I'm a beggar, have nothing. And I'm just, no qualification, no education, no culture, no nothing. I'm just following you, running, like a dog. Woo, woo, woo. Give me that rasagula. Give me that sweet, rasagula. I think we'll treat you with some one day. Anyway, it's a juicy ball, it's completely saturated with juice. Rasagula and gulab jamun, Oh, you must show her, show them, from your transcendental shopper. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, so just make them know. Yeah, so the dog is salivating. Give me that, give me that. So we're following the Vaishnavas. We're running behind it. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Amito Kangal. Krishna, Krishna Boli. Tava Pache Pache means Pache Pache, following you, step after step, following you. Because right, if a person is drowning, And the ship, all of a sudden, the ship is there. So the person, like mad, will be using last strength, trying to get to that ship. And that ship has merciful captain, Sri Caitanya-mangala. So lifebuoy will be given for sure, because he wants one to be saved, one to be saved. That's it. And Krishna consciousness is our life air, is everything, is our oxygen, everything for us. We're choking at the moment. There's no fresh air here, it's terrible. Material life, yes, no joke. It's very serious. Serious impediment for the living being. We belong to spiritual world, but we're facing material world at every step. What is the remedy? The process of bhakti yoga, chanting of holy name. And Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu has given that. Bhakti means love and devotion. This process, Stephanie, is called bhakti yoga. It's love and devotion to Krishna. Bhakti means coming from bhaj, root. Bhaj means to worship. Well, these words may come to our hearing as, probably this is not acceptable. Worship. What is worship? Worship. Maybe this is some cult or sect. No. This is a natural tendency. People worship rock stars in this world, sportsmen, politicians. It's bhakti, actually, devotion to those guys. But the real bhakti has to be diverted towards Krishna. So that's what Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu was showing us. So how will I fix, we're starting from Caitanya-mangala. So he was exclaiming, how do I fix my mind on Krishna? Lamenting like this, Mahaprabhu screamed. Hearing him, others also cried. Suddenly, divine voice announced from the sky, listen, Vishwambar, you yourself are God. You've come to this world to give your mercy by teaching love of Godhead, by doing Harinama Sankirtana, means congregational chanting. You will establish religion of this world. Don't lament. The people of Kali will be delivered by receiving your mercy. Your love will remove the sufferings of everyone. Now stop lamenting and start your Sankirtana movement. So the demigods, they were speaking from the sky, actually the Supreme Lord, and he is the Supreme Lord, but anyway, the voice said. Mahaprabhu was happy to hear this, but he kept quiet. The massive movement had not yet started. So we mentioned yesterday how Mahaprabhu showed a form of Varahadev, Lord Boar, to Murari Gupta. So this story is described wonderfully here in Caitanya-mangala also. One day Vishwambara visited the house of his beloved devotee, Murari Gupta. He was a doctor. Gupta means caste of doctors. So he was so much advanced. Once he was treating one king, I think, or some aristocratic man, and all of a sudden he collapsed unconscious. The doctor collapsed. When he came back to senses, the doctor asked Murari, what had happened to you? Oh, this was just, I have some disease here. He didn't say what the real reason was. And the real reason was he saw a peacock feather. Murari Gupta saw a peacock feather. Immediately he remembered Krishna and collapsed by, being overwhelmed with Krishna prema, pure devotion. So very, very high stages, Don't think that these are not our things. These are our things, but that will come later, By doing our regulated practice, we will not become a madman like this immediately, to disturb the neighbors and relatives. No, it will come gradually, gradually. So, Murari Gupta, the Lord showed symptoms of ecstatic love like numbness, horripilation, and his cheeks changing color to pink. He entered the deity room and started talking to himself. Tears poured in abundance from his eyes, looking like the Ganges River rushing down Mount Sumeru. Mount Sumeru is in the center of the universe according to cosmology. A huge golden mountain stands in the center, and the sun goes around Mount Sumeru. So the people said, just see the matchless beauty of the Lord. He has now become a huge boar, as big as mountain. and with the sharp teeth, he's running towards us to kill us. So people saw the boar incarnation. So there are 10 avatars, 10 main avatars of Krishna. So the boar, Lord Boar, Varaha is one of them. So Lord Gauranga assumed the form of a boar and ran on his hands and feet. With his red eyes, round shape, and roaring sound, he has surely become a powerful boar. Using his teeth, Mahaprabhu raised a brass pot into the sky. Dropping it on the ground, the Lord opened his mouth and wildly and said, Murari, Murari, do you recognize me? Murari Gupta fell at the Lord's feet and said, Prabhu, my master, I don't have the qualifications to describe your real identity, which is unknown even to Lord Brahma. Then Murari spoke a verse from Bhagavad Gita. Oh, indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies. O Lord of all beings, God of gods, Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Mahaprabhu Murari continued, you can know yourself, others cannot. Then Gaura Hari asked, Supreme Personality asked her, can Vedas describe me? Murari humbly replied, even Sahasravadana Ananta Shesha can describe your tattvas, truth. How can the Vedas explain the knowledge concerning you? No one can know you. So the Vedas may say that I have no hands and feet, Gauranga said. Well, that's true. Some Vedas, they say that he has no hands and feet. But that doesn't really mean that he doesn't have hands and feet. He doesn't have material hands and feet, actually. He has transcendental form, transcendental hands, transcendental feet, transcendental smile, transcendental flute, so many transcendental qualities. So Gauranga is saying, the Vedic descriptions of me create bewilderment about my true identity. Then the Lord paused briefly, smiled slightly, and said, oh, like Vedas actually have not described me at all. In the Vedas are mostly indirect statements about the personal features of the Supreme. Then Murari Gupta begged Lord Gauranga, my Lord, please be merciful to me. Please give me ecstatic love of Godhead. And now let's hear how the Lord gave prema, ecstatic love, to Murari. Gauranga said, Gauranga means golden-limbed. Listen, Murari, you have love for me, so just serve the Parabrahman, Supreme Personality, appearing in the human form, having the color of Indranila gem, blue sapphire, that is color of Krishna's transcendental body. Neither black nor blue, it's Indranila, as we were discussing yesterday. Indranila, blue sapphire. He stands most attractively in his threefold bending form, Krishna is. Threefold, at his neck, at his waist, and at his knees. So, carrying a flute in his hand, worship Srimati Radharani, the golden complexioned daughter of King Vrishabhanu. She is the original energy of the Lord, and her effulgence defeats the color of bright yellow, Gorochana, Gorochana means the yellow pigment. So the Lord himself is inducing here Murari to worship Krishna. Engage yourself in service of the gopis and you will attain the son of Nanda. In Chintamani Bhuvi, Vrindavan Dham, he sits on a jewel throne, resting upon a gem-studded platform surrounded by desire trees. So the devotees were feeling transcendental joy to hear these talks from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a mood of submission. In the mood of submission, Murari requested, my Lord, I want to see the Lord's form as Raghunath, Lord Ram, because Murari Gupta is Hanuman, the eternal servant of Lord Ramachandra in the form of a monkey, Ramayana. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally showed him the form of Ram, because that is the worshipable Lord of Hanuman. So within the second, Murari saw Lord Ramachandra in his beautiful body, the color of fresh green grass, Durva. Sita Devi, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna stood around the Lord. Murari rolled on the ground in astonishment and Gaurasundar pacified him with the touch of his hands while blessing him. May you become satisfied in love of God. Actually, Murari, you are none other than Hanuman, and I am the same Lord Ram. After saying this, the Lord entered the temple. So this wonderful episode we just heard, but to make our, let's say, presentation more dynamic, let us say, we will describe the meaning of one song we sang during Kirtan. Some of you came a bit later, but while we were singing this evening, we sang one wonderful song, Akroda Paramananda, dedicated to Nityananda. That is by Locana Dasa Thakura. So we'll describe the song and we'll hear the wonderful story about how Sri Gauranga and Nityananda first met. So Nityananda means eternal bliss. Nitya means eternal and Ananda means bliss. So he is like the second body of Sri Chaitanya. They're both two transcendental brothers and they are brightly, brightly golden, shining like molten gold. And the height is like 8 feet, very, very tall, 8.5 feet. So we're dancing amongst the very stout figures and very broad chest, attractive to all. So all others reach maybe the chest like this, 5-6 feet, people. Bengalis especially quite small. So they're dancing and dancing. So noble Nityananda Prabhu, the personification of supreme transcendental bliss, is never angry. Never angry. Because when we see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deity, he has one hand like this, right-handed, left hand, he's giving like this. Sometimes, like in our temple, he's showing like this. But Nityananda, no, 2 hands down, 2 hands like this, 2 palms, red palms, only giving mercy, only giving mercy. So they're so merciful. If somebody comes to them and cannot even speak, they're saying, give nectar. So they're, okay, here's the pot of nectar. I cannot hold. Okay, open your mouth, I'll pour nectar. Sometimes people come from, heavy background, cannot, think even what to speak. Reading, Sanskrit and all those things. Okay, open your mouth. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sometimes people cannot even say Hare Krishna. Okay, take prasad, take this, holy food, so people get, and consciousness changes. Then gradually, the transcendental awareness comes, and they start the eternal life. Our process is not just, some yoga, some type of, engagement, which is like superimposed. No, never. This is called life. This is life. And life, so-called material life, is not life. It's only a shadow, like existence, Like, there's an example, a goat also has a type of udder, but the she-goat's udder, you can get some milk from that. Your village people, so. And some of you, and on his what's that neck, he has some type of. So a foolish man will try to milk the goat, he goat, or the bull, oh, something, at the lower back part, there's something you can do like this and get milk, so they can try to milk the bull. It's pointless engagement. So people are like this, they're trying to get happiness wherever it's absent, totally absent. So Nityananda and Haridas, remember, we were hearing in your house. Nityananda and Haridas were ordered by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, knock every door and ask everyone, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Koro Krishna, Shiksha, yes, Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana, Pran, yeah, Koro, Bolo Krishna, chant Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, worship Krishna. Koro Krishna Shiksha means instructions, follow Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita and others. And Krishna is your mother, Krishna is your father, Krishna is your life force, everything. So They were asking for that charity. They were not asking for money or anything else. So just say Hari Bol one time. Hari Bol. Hari Bol means, Bol means glorify. Hari means Krishna. So Nityananda was going from door to door among the residents of lowly and fallen souls. He freely distributed Harinama Mahamantra. Everyone was receiving that gift. Please chant one time. Please chant one time. What does it mean? The name of the Lord is so powerful. Even if you chant without knowledge, in 4 ways. What's it? Ashraddha Namabas. Ashraddha means without faith and without knowledge. By meaning something else. By Sanketim, Parihasyam, in jokingly. Stobam means like theatrical performance. And Helanam, neglectfully. In these 4 ways, if you chant. Then Ashesha Gaharam Vidu. Ashesha means limitless. Sins are eradicated, fully eradicated. So even just you don't know the meaning, all those things. You mean something else, or jokingly say Krishna, Krishna. Unlimited amount of sins eradicated. And you get a very special tendency to chant again, because it's addictive. Luckily, since it's transcendental sound vibration, it's very addictive. So, Nityananda. So, yes, he was saying, please chant one time. So he freely distributed Harinama Mahamantra. Holding a straw in his teeth, Nityananda calls out whomever he sees, please purchase me by worshipping Sri Chaitanya, Gaura Hari. Yeah? If you worship my Lord by chanting his name, you will purchase me. That's it. I don't need anything else. So Sri Guru is like this. Nityananda is actually the personification of Guru Tattva, the principle of Sri Guru. When he comes into someone's life, Sri Guru comes. Means Nityananda Prabhu's full mercy comes into someone's life. Means the day has come. The mercy of Nityananda is there. So certainly we have performed some pious activities in the past. But even if the balance is low, mercy is higher than justice. According to justice, you need to qualify, to certain amount. But Nityananda doesn't care. He doesn't see. He gives all mercy to anyone. Please take. Yes, if you pay £10, but you get the whole house, for £10, like this, more or less. Such a measurement. So you can just, open your mouth up and say Hare Krishna, like this articulation. You do. That is like £10 endeavors, actually. Well, you get the name, and the name is just a house you can learn eternally. I mean, you can live eternally, spiritual world. You say one word, one name, and you get spiritual world. It's miraculous, isn't it? So like this. You have to some endeavor. Okay, we have to endeavor, especially disciples. Wake up early. Chant your mantras. Some regulations. Before chanting your mantras, have to take bath like this. Sit facing east. Certain things. Right. But actually, the Harinama itself, the holy name itself, doesn't require any qualification. So, if you want to start chanting on a regular basis, we can help you. Right. We can describe how to take the beads and how all those things. Just chant on daily basis, at least one round. That will take you no more than 10 minutes. Yeah. And you'll be really happy. It's a very, very good, method of spiritual development, or rather, coming to your real life. This is real life. So you can ask, why have we really forgotten this life, this real life? Why have we forgotten it? So many years, so many lifetimes we're engaging in something else than this life. We're building houses, material houses, purchasing material cars, building material plans, and acting. We're trying to convince ourselves that this is good, that this is important, and then something was not really working, afterwards. So happiness was not coming. Why? Because the spiritual principle was off. It was not seen in life. That's why the life was just like a shadow, like a role you can perform. People go and they smile, everywhere. How are you? Thank you, and you? Fine. As a result, you get what? Theatrical performance. Then they go home and they get depressed, or they drink. That's how people, and so that's how a material life is like this. You just perform some roles like theatrical actors, and you get just some wages maybe for that. It's okay, you get wages. What to do with the wages? Try to enjoy. Can get no satisfaction, as one national hero sang. No satisfaction. No, it will never come. So that's why the real life is the holy name, and Nityananda gave it. Holding a straw in his teeth, speaking in this way, Nityananda Prabhu rolls on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain tumbling in the dust. Golden mountain in the dust. It was just crashing down, rotating, rolling. Locana Dasa says, that sinful person who has not experienced the awakening of attachment for such an avatar simply comes and goes in the endless cycle of birth and death. That's what's going on, unfortunately. But we're very, very fortunate. So we've helped ourselves. Good. Now's the time to help others. Help others. Because otherwise you're a miser, Like Pujapat Madhusudan Maharaj or Shiksha Guru say. There was one talk, somebody didn't want to share this, didn't want to preach. Madhusudan Maharaj said, oh, like you have a chapati and you will give chapati, Indian bread. You will not give your neighbor. You will not give anyone. My chapati. Miser. Sit in your room and collect, and then forget, and it goes dry. I better give your neighbor. Like you keep so many books and never read, so they go, mice come and, So better give those books away, give them, like this. So we should not be misers, we should be like Nityananda. So it's very successful, little house preaching center, let us say. So thanks to the great hosts, we'll glorify them at the end anyway. So, yes, so how did Sri Chaitanya meet Nityananda? Today, our last subject about that. We're turning back to Sri Caitanya-Bhagavata now, Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakura. So, Gauranga, Sri Chaitanya was seeing in all directions the bliss of his devotees, and he was very happy, immersed in, absorbed in chanting of the holy name, but something was lacking. There was no Nityananda. There was no Nityananda. Nityananda hadn't manifested yet. Nityananda is Balaram, as we mentioned, the first expansion of Krishna, his elder brother. When Krishna came, Balaram was his elder brother, and his eternal brother of the Lord, first expansion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was looking here and there, and he could not see Nityananda. So in the meantime, Nityananda, he was born, some say 7, some say 12 years earlier than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a different place called Ekachakra. Have you visited Ekachakra? No. You've been, okay. Sundarananda Prabhu has been to Ekachakra. So in another place of Navadvipa Mandala. So the devotees, when Nityananda was born, the devotees were roaring. Advaita was just roaring. Haridas was dancing. Nityananda took birth. And when he was 12, his father, Hodai Pandit, accepted one traveling saint in his house. And that saint sannyasi liked Nityananda so much. And Hodai said to the traveling saint, "Oh, I can give you anything, please ask me." So the saint thought and "Oh, I like your son very much. You give me your son. Give me your son. He will be helping me in my travels." Hodai Pandit, with his head in his hands, talked to Padmavati, his wife, and I cannot, violate the will of the Brahmana, so I have to give my son, but that's like giving my own life and soul. Okay, my life and soul. So he agreed. My heart was bleeding, but he agreed. Okay. Nityananda went with the Brahmana to travel. So he visited many holy places. And finally, he went to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, he was looking for his Kanai, for his Krishna everywhere. But all the thrones he saw empty. He didn't see Krishna anywhere. So he was saying what to do. Then the voice from the sky said, "Oh, your Kanai, your Krishna, has now become Nimai, has become Sri Chaitanya. So you have to go to Navadvip and see him there." So Nityananda went to Navadvip and he hid himself in the house of Nandana Acharya. He didn't want to disclose himself. So Nandana Acharya is a great devotee, Mahabhagavat. He saw that the bodily effulgence of Nityananda was equal to the sun. Nityananda appeared as a great avadut. Avadut means he was without rules and regulations. Without rules and regulations. Yeah, not following any rules and regulations. Sometimes he was crying, sometimes he was laughing, sometimes he was crashing on the ground. And so Nityananda appeared as a great avadut with a large body. He was always grave and most sober. He chanted the names of Krishna day and night. He was the abode of Lord Chaitanya, non-different. Chaitanya and Nityananda, two transcendental brothers, non-different, incomparable within the three worlds. Sometimes he roared loudly in his own ecstasy. He appeared greatly intoxicated, just like the incarnation of Balaram, yes. And in the same way as Balaram's eyes were always rolling, so Nityananda's eyes were always rolling, and it was red. And he was shouting, "Give me wine! Give me wine!" Wine means prema, means divine, intoxicating beverage. So he was even shouting to the, drunkards. They were happy to see him. "Hey, Nitai, come with us, drink with us." So he meant quite different wine, the intoxicating wine of prema. So the effulgence of his teeth defeated that of pearls, and his two broad reddish eyes increased the beauty of his face. His hands stretched down to his knees, and his chest was high. His two soft lotus feet were expert in movement. He spoke to everyone with great compassion. On hearing the words from his lotus mouth, one's bondage due to fruitive activities was destroyed. When Lord Nityananda arrived in Nadia, means Navadvip area, there were shouts of joy all over the world. Who can describe the glories of that Lord who broke the sannyasa danda of Guru Sundar? When Sri Chaitanya was a sannyasi, he was having a staff, the holy staff of a sannyasi, every sannyasi has. But there's a social, element, to have a staff of a sannyasi, danda. That's why when Nityananda was accompanying Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya, to Jagannath Puri, they stayed at one place, and now it's Gaur-Govinda Maharaj's temple in that place. And Gauranga went to the village to collect some alms. Nityananda saw the danda, staff of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and broke it in three pieces, and threw into the stream. And said, Gauranga came and was very disturbed. "Why have you thrown my danda? What kind of sannyasi am I?" But Nityananda showed him that, "Oh, you don't need any danda because you're the Supreme Lord himself." So such a great personality. Who could break Nityananda, danda of Mahaprabhu? Actually, Nityananda broke his own danda also. He is free, avadut. He was having a danda like a sannyasi, broke it. Yes, and after he broke his danda. Later, he accepted 2 wives. We must not follow this. Accepted 2 wives. Like Balaram Prabhu had 2 wives, Revati and Varuni. So Nityananda had 2 wives, Janava and Vasudha. So Nityananda was there, but Nandanacharya accepted him. But only Gauranga, only Sri Chaitanya could understand that Nityananda had arrived, and he became unlimited joyful at heart. So he selected all Vaishnavas and told them about Nityananda's arrival. The Lord said, "Oh brothers, within 2 or 3 days, some great personality will come here. By providence, after worshipping Vishnu that same day, Gaurachandra soon met with all the Vaishnavas. The Lord told everyone, 'Today I have seen something wonderful in a dream.' Nityananda first came to him in a dream. A chariot adorned with a flag marked with a palm tree, an expert in bestowing the essence of life on all people, arrived at my doorstep." Can you imagine such a chariot? Expert at bestowing auspiciousness to all people. Within the chariot, I saw someone with a huge body. He held a post on his shoulder, danda, and his movements were unsteady, out of divine love. Those are the symptoms of avadut, a person immersed in divine consciousness. But socially, like, he's completely unpredictable, people call it unreliable, not easy to understand. So, but his movements were unsteady because he was fully immersed in Gaura Prema. In his left hand, he carried a water pot wrapped with cane. He was dressed in blue garments. Nityananda's robe's color is blue and Gauranga's yellow. So, and his head was decorated with blue cloth. His left ear was decorated with charming earring. By his characteristics, I could understand that he was none other than Haladhara, means Balarama. He repeatedly inquired 10 or 20 times, "Is this the house of Nimai Pandit? Is this the house of Nimai Pandit?" He was dressed like an avadut and appeared to be most powerful. I have never seen such a personality before. I was filled with respect on seeing him and asked, "Which great personality are you? Please tell me." He smiled and said, "I am your brother. Tomorrow we will meet." I became most pleased by hearing his words, and I considered myself to be identical with him. Gauranga is telling his dream. While speaking in this way, the Lord lost his external consciousness and roared loudly in the mood of Haladhara, Balarama. Because he was, Lord Gauranga was taking, time after time, he was taking the moods of his various incarnations. And when he was thinking, whatever he was thinking of Balaram, of Nityananda, he was taking the features of Balaram. The Lord repeatedly cried out, "Madayana, Madayana," means bring wine, Madayana, Madayana. His cry was so loud that everyone's eardrums were almost broken. Srivas Pandit said, "Oh, please hear me, O Gosani. The wine that you're demanding is available only with you. So how can we bring you wine? Only it, and you can bring it and distribute." So there must be a reason for this, all Vaishnavas contemplated. The radish-eyed Lord recited poems and laughed at his beauty as his body swayed back and forth like Sankarsana. After a while, the Lord returned to his normal state. Then he began to explain the meaning of the dream. "Oh, my friends, it appears to me that some great personality has arrived here. I've already previously informed you that we will soon meet a great personality. O devotees, O Haridas, O Srivas," 2 devotees he appointed, Haridas and Srivas, "go immediately and see who has come." On the order of the Lord, the 2 Mahabhagavatas, Haridas, you know him well, and Srivas, went to search for Nityananda all over Navadvip. While searching in this way, they confided to each other, "It seems Lord Sankarshan has come," means Balaram. So they were overwhelmed with ecstasy, and they were looking all over Nadia for 9 hours without finding anyone like great personality. So they came back and they informed the Lord, "We have not found anyone new. We have searched the residences of Vaishnavas, sannyasis, and grihastas, means family people. We have even gone to the houses of atheists. We have looked all over Navadvip, but we didn't go outside." So Gaurachandra smiled, because he knew only he was able to show Nityananda to the devotees. No one else was capable of doing that. So he revealed by that pastime that Nityananda is most confidential. Even Haridas and Srivas, two great personalities, could not find Nityananda. So in this incarnation, Lord Nityananda is most confidential. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is the direct disciple of Nityananda. So when he mentions his master, immediately he's in divine bliss, so he cannot speak about anything else. And he speaks on and on and on about Nityananda sometime. So after a while, the Lord smiled and said, "Everyone come and see him with me." All the devotees exclaimed, "Jai Krishna." Gaura Sundara led all devotees to the house of Nandanacharya, and there saw one great personality, jewel-like personality. Everyone saw that his effulgence was like that of millions of suns. No one could understand his internal mood. He was absorbed in happiness from his meditation and constantly smiled. Understanding his pure devotional mood, Vishvambara and the devotees offered him obeisances. Everyone then stood while watching him in awe and reverence without speaking a word. Mahaprabhu Vishvambara, Sri Caitanya, stood directly in front of Nityananda, who immediately recognized the Lord of his life. So, transcendental meeting happened. The form of Gauranga was as attractive as that of Cupid. He was decorated with divine sandalwood pulp, flower garlands, and garments. How can the luster of shining gold be compared with his body? Even the moon desires to see his face. Accompanied by the devotees, the most enchanting Sri Gauranga and Nityananda wander throughout Navadvip. So, wonderful, wonderful description. So, let's hear now, finally, how Gauranga revealed Nityananda's glories, what happened when they saw each other, what ecstatic symptoms they manifested. Vishvambara stood in front of Nityananda, and Nityananda recognized his worshipable Lord. Nityananda became stunned in ecstasy, and he stared at the beautiful form of Vishvambara, Gauranga. He appeared to be licking that beautiful form with his tongue, drinking it with his eyes, embracing it with his arms, and smelling it with his nose. In this way, Nityananda became stunned. He neither spoke nor did anything. Everyone was astonished. Sri Caitanya, the life and soul of all, then devised some means of revealing the identity of Nityananda. He made Srivas Pandit quote one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, depicting the wonderful beauty of Krishna. And Srivas quoted the following verse, "Barhapidam natavaravapu karnayo karnikaram, bibradvasakanakakapisham vaijayantim chamalam, randran venaradharasudaya pura and gopa vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti." Srila Gurudev is saying that this verse is the most beautiful verse depicting Krishna's beauty in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, in Venu Gita, the melody of Krishna's flute, how Krishna plays the flute, and how he looks, wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, Barhapidam. Blue Karnikara flowers, Karnikara means Kanera flowers, yellow, on his ears. Yellow garment as brilliant as gold, what's it? Pitambara. And the Vaijayanti garland, made of 5 types of forest flowers, reaching his knees. Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers, and he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glories. So that wonderful, wonderful vision of Krishna immediately touched the heart of Nityananda, and let's see what then happened. As Lord Nityananda lost consciousness in ecstasy, Gauranga instructed Srivas to continue reciting. Recite more, recite more. Hearing the verses for some time, he regained his consciousness and began to cry. Nityananda back, and he was crying. His madness increased, and he heard the continual recitation of verses. That's why we're studying verses, because some of them are very, very, all of them actually, but especially some of them are very, very rasika. Means they're filled with rasa, and they can help us so much to chant Hare Krishna. These verses from the scriptures, filled with rasa, filled with taste. The madness of Nityananda increased as he heard the continual recitation of verses. He roared so loudly that the sound pierced the universe. There was like super powerful thunder. So he suddenly jumped in the air and fell forcefully to the ground. Everyone there thought his bones were smashed. Not to speak of others, even the Vaishnavas were frightened. They prayed, Raksha Krishna, oh Krishna, please protect him. As the Lord rolled on the ground, his entire body became wet with tears of love. He sighed deeply while looking at the face of Sri Caitanya Vishwambara. His heart was full of ecstasy, and he repeatedly laughed loudly. Kshane nritya, kshane nata, kshane bahutala, kshane joda, lampa de ki bhav. One moment he danced, one moment he bowed down, one moment he clapped his hands, and one moment he jumped wonderfully with his feet together like a ballet dancer. Nityananda. I don't know how many meters high, but we can speculate. Maybe 6, maybe 10. Seeing his amazing ecstatic madness and love of Krishna, Gaurachandra and the Vaishnavas began to cry. His happiness constantly increased. Although they tried to hold him still, they were unable. When all the Vaishnavas failed to hold him still, Vishwambara personally took him on his lap. Vishwambara Sri Chaitanya was the only person who could appease Nityananda Prabhu. No one else, because he was a mad elephant. And who can pacify a mad elephant? Only elephant. Chama, what's that? Controller with an elephant goad, a special stick, can control him. So, Vishwambara Sri Chaitanya personally took Nityananda on his lap. As soon as Nityananda was taken on Sri Chaitanya's lap, he surrendered his life to the Lord and became motionless. That is it. The end of active, so to say, moving, motionless. Nityananda surrendered his life to whom it belonged and remained inert in the Lord's lap. Nityananda floated in the waters of Chaitanya's love as Lakshman remained in the lap of Ramachandra after being hit by Shaktishala arrow. That's a story from Ramayana. As Lakshman, the younger brother of Lord Ram, was hit by Shaktishala, the special weapon of Meghanath, brother of Ravan. So he was on the lap of Ramachandra, so in that way, same way. Nityananda was on the lap of Gauranga. Nityananda lost consciousness due to being hit by the arrow of ecstatic love. The arrow in this case was different, ecstatic love. Holding Nityananda on his lap, Gauranga began to cry. The exchange of happiness that the two enjoyed was similar to what is heard of between Ram and Lakshman. There is no comparison to the affection between Gaurachandra and Nityananda, other than that which is found between Rama and Lakshman. After some time, Nityananda regained his external consciousness, and the devotees chanted the name of Hari. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. When Gadadhara saw Nityananda on the lap of Vishwambara, he was surprised by reversal roles and smiled with him. Usually, when Lord Vishnu reclines on the, Garbhodaka ocean or Karana ocean, he reclines on it. Sankarshan, Shesha, Lord Balaram, he reclines. But in this Lila, Nityananda was on the lap of Gauranga, so quite the opposite. So Gadadhara was smiling, they changed their roles. Gadadhara knows the glories of Nityananda. Nityananda knows the mind of Gadadhara. After seeing Nityananda, the minds of all devotees became filled with eternal bliss. As Nityananda and Gaurachandra gazed at each other, they did not speak a word as tears flowed from their eyes. They were both filled with happiness on seeing each other. The earth became flooded with their tears. Vishwambara said, "Today is an auspicious day for me, for I have seen devotional service, which is the essence of the four Vedas. Are such shivering, such tears, and such loud roaring possible for anyone other than one who is empowered by the Lord? Krishna will never forsake one who even once directly sees such devotional service. I understand that you are the full power of Godhead. Only by worshipping you can a living entity attain devotional service to Krishna. You are able to purify the 14 worlds. Your confidential characteristics are inconceivable and infallible. One who is qualified to recognize you, who is qualified to recognize you? For you are the personified wealth of loving devotion to Lord Krishna. If a person associates with you for even one moment, he will be delivered even if he has committed millions of sinful activities. I have understood that Krishna will deliver me because he has given you your association. Out of great fortune, I have seen your lotus feet. Just by worshipping you, I will achieve the wealth of love of Krishna." Lord Gauranga was fully absorbed as he incessantly offered prayers to Nityananda. Again, so we heard yesterday how Gauranga was worshipping the feet of his devotees, and now see how he was worshipping his most important devotee, one of the most important devotees, Nityananda. So Nityananda and Chaitanya conversed with each other through signals and gestures that were unknown to others. Devotees were seeing and not understanding what that meant. The Lord said, "I am afraid to ask, but from which direction have you come?" Oh, greatly overwhelmed, Nityananda displayed the mentality of a child. He was like spontaneously moving like this, and it's very spontaneous. So he spoke with the restlessness of a young boy. He understood, this is my Lord who has descended. With folded hands, he humbly spoke. Nityananda said, "I have visited many holy places and seen various sites connected with Lord Krishna. I could only see the place, but I could not see Krishna." So many pastime places he visited before he went to Vrindavan. Nowhere he saw Krishna. He saw all the thrones of deities empty. When he came to Vrindavan, he saw the same. Then they inquired from some responsible persons, "Why are the thrones covered? Why are they empty?" I asked them, "Oh brothers, where has Krishna gone?" They said, "Krishna had gone to Gaudadesh." Yeah, there's a voice from the sky. Also the people said, "Kanai has become Nimai, and he's in Gaudadesh," means in Navadvip. After visiting Gaya a few days ago, he returned there. So Sri Chaitanya was ready to accept Nityananda Avaduta, because he was already a devotee, right? No longer a logician and pandit. So I heard that in Nadia, in Gauranga's land, there is extensive congregational chanting of the Lord Hari's glories. Someone said, "Lord Narayana has taken birth here." I have also heard that fallen souls are delivered in Navadvip. Therefore I, being most sinful, have come here. The Lord said, "We're all fortunate to have a great devotee like you amongst us. We consider that today our lives have become successful, for we have seen you flowing tears of love." Murari, that same devotee who saw Boar incarnation, smiled and said, "You understand yourselves, but we do not understand anything that you're saying." Srivas said, "What can we understand of that? It is like Madhava and Shakara worshipping each other, Krishna and Shiva worshipping each other." Gadadhara said, "Oh Pandit, whatever you have said is correct. I think their characteristics resemble those of Rama and Lakshman, Krishna and Shiva." And someone said, "Oh, they're like two cupids." Someone else said, "These two are like Krishna and Balaram." Someone else, "I don't know much, but it appears that Lord Shesha is lying on the lap of Krishna." Someone else, "They're like two friends, Krishna and Arjuna, because they're filled with such affection." Someone else said, "It seems that They're quite known to each other. I cannot understand anything they speak through their gestures. In this way, all the devotees happily discuss the meeting with Nityananda. Now, dear friends, let's listen to the blessing Sri Vrindavana Dasa Thakura gives. Anyone who hears about the meeting between Nityananda and Gaurachandra is freed from material bondage. Nityananda alone serves the Lord as his companion, friend, brother, umbrella, bed, and carrier. Lord Balaram serves Krishna in all rasas. So in various ways. Even Mahadev, Lord Shiva, does not know the limit of the glories of Nityananda. So the disciple of Nityananda, Sri Vrindavana Dasa Thakura, is saying, my only desire is that Nityananda Ram, who is most dear to Chaitanya, may be the Lord of my life. So those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. Anyone who attentively chants these topics receives with his associates benedictions given by Vishwambara Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu. Means, what is the benediction given by Vishwambara? Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema. That is the way. So, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasa Thakura Yugijan Gan. Accepting Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I Vrindavan Das sing the glories of the lotus feet. Shri Caitanya Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Caitanya-mangala ki jai, Sri Locana Dasa Thakura ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So, dear friends, we were hearing very ecstatic, very sweet narrations these days. I was very happy to be with you all, and many thanks. It's good they left, so I can glorify them. Many thanks to the great Mahatmas, great souls, serving at Chandrika Kunja, Shriman Asim Krishna Prabhu, Shrimati Yamuna Didi, for their selfless seva. If not for them, many of you could not have been here. So, and this center has great perspective, but now I heard that it's, changing its, rearranging its whatever location, perspective and whatever. So anyway, it will be much better now. It's, being reorganized to a better step. We're very grateful to all devotees in UK, devotees from London, devotees from Watford, you, Rasaraj, and Raghava Pandit, Raghunath Prabhu, and Sundarananda Prabhu also. He left, I can glorify him. Wonderful sevak. I'm so happy they left, I can glorify them. So Sundarananda Prabhu, great sevak, and very wonderful kirtans we did in Camden Town. So he had an idea to make a broader programs, like maybe longer programs, some other time. But right now, with your blessings, we're flying back to Vrindavan, India tomorrow morning, and we'll be there for some time. And then on the 7th of May, we're flying to Germany. There will be some programs there, 5 or 6 days. So some broadcasts in English will be there. And then we're continuing with Lithuania, possibly Russia. So we are accordingly inviting everyone to see Vrindavan Dham, a great place of pilgrimage in Vrindavan we're situated in. Especially we're inviting everyone to hear from Mahatma's great souls, our dear Shiksha Gurus, Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Maharaj, Pujaniya Srimati Krishna Priya Thakurani. So we will keep in touch, give you our cards, and we can, through Yamuna and Asim, we can keep our association. Also, I already glorified you over your out, so I did my whatever to escape shyness. So I already did. But anyway, unlimited thanks for the great Mahantas of this ashram, Yamuna and Nasim, thank you so much. And to all British devotees already said, also Sundarananda Prabhu also glorified while he was out, so okay, no shyness, no confusion, right? Everything has been done. They heard your real glories already. So many thanks to those devotees in Lithuania, Poland, and Germany who accepted us and participated in all programs for selfless seva service. So our process in bhakti is bringing great blissful results. So we're very happy really today. We've discussed so many transcendental subject matters with you, because our greatest treasure is Harikatha. Harikatha means narrations about Krishna. So if you, who said that? I think Srila Gorgovinda Maharaj. If you haven't preached, if you haven't discussed, then glories of Krishna that day was useless. Anyway, we were engaged some other way, but especially the successful days are when we can together hear those narrations, not even through electronic media, not through recordings, but live sound. And this is just like on informational level, whatever we're hearing, but we're really inviting you to join our programs in Vrindavan, when you can hear wonderful narrations of Krishna. If you can make it to India in the middle of March, there's a great opportunity of Bhagavad Saptaha, 7 days hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam by Pujapat Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj, our Shiksha Guru, in Delhi. And then in Vrindavan there will be a festival dedicated to the appearance day of Sri Caitanya-Mahaprabhu, which is celebrated on 25th, I think, this year, March. So next month, if you're able to come. If not, in August, there will be also a very great program, which is called Julana Yatra, the Festival of Swing Festival in Vrindavan. Very wonderful, fabulous program. Everyone can swing the deities, everyone. So it's direct touch, with transcendental reality. So Hare Krishna, thank you all very much. Please forgive all imperfections, whatever from my side, whatever was not pleasant, it's from me. Whatever was pleasant, it's from them. So, how to say, just learning how to be the media, So, Hare Krishna. So, Sri UK Bhaktas ki jai. If somebody has any questions, we can discuss now. Otherwise, soon we're starting.
We just want to also, on our side, thank you for coming down here. I think it's now fifth time in this place.
Sixth. Oh, in this place, fourth. Yes. So general sixth in general. Epping Forest 2 times.
Every time is so nice, and gives us also a little spiritual injection, to inject into our lives, and also brings us all together. So we want to say thank you again for coming.
Dandavat Pranam. Shila Gurudeva ki jai. So now, since coming to 7 o'clock, so Arati, Arati, short, only first part. And then if you have questions now, you can share with the electronic audience. Otherwise, if you have private questions, then later at Prasadam. So, okay, thank you very much. Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol. So now we're getting to Arati.